What's up, everybody? This is the Anime Squad Podcast, episode 56. My name is Robbie.
And this is Omar.
And this is David.
And this is Josh.
And of course, don't forget that we do have timestamps in case any of you guys wishes to fast forward to any of the show that interests you. You guys are free. You guys are free to do so. And with that, let's start off with our newest show that we're starting off, Yasuke.
Yes, Yasuke is the most anticipated show for Netflix coming out this season.
Episode 1.
Yes, episode 1. And what is Yasuke about? What is this?
Well, Yasuke is a story of a African slave that is transformed into a samurai.
Whoa.
Based off of a true story. It's a legit historical fact that this man renamed as Yasuke becomes the one and only African samurai.
Yeah, which is super crazy to think about. And like,
yeah. So a little bit of history because I actually read about it. Yasuke was drew the attention of Oda Nobunaga and was his retainer, which means he was like the guy who was protecting Nobunaga on the back lines. He wasn't on the front lines. He wasn't just used for that. So it's a really interesting story, and it's, you know, especially nowadays, very topical, and it's I think I'm really glad that they decided to make an anime of it because it's a really cool piece of Japanese history.
yeah,
Right? Yeah, definitely.
I think before even this was even getting anime adaptation, no one knew about this story. So
No.
I'm glad it's getting brought into light, and it's a very, like, even during the anime, they touch up moments that actually happened in the historical event, so that was cool. But
okay, so there's a big elephant in the room. There are, if you guys are looking for a true to life, historical, accurate representation on who Yasuke is as a person and what his life is, biography, all that, you're not gonna get that here, because
You might as well read a book.
Yeah, because this adaptation takes a bit of creativity, creative
Mechs.
Yeah.
Mechs and magic and wacky
Force fields.
characters and
Creative freedom.
lots of things.
yeah,
A lot to take in.
I mean, that's where the anime part comes in, right? Like, you
Yeah.
have this unlimited boundaries, so like you can go nuts, you go
Right.
crazy, and it's just like off the first scene, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it'd be cool if it was like a historical piece, but you know, we didn't get that here. And for what we got for the first episode, it was awesome. I still digged it.
Oh yeah.
I still loved the whole when the samurais were fighting the mechs.
Yeah.
And like some of the samurais were like possessed by some magical energy, and it went ham, and it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like we brought this up, like the first minute or so when you don't see all you're seeing is just debris and bodies and everything. You're like, okay, you know, we're on board. But then as soon as the robots come in, then we're like, okay, all right.
It's a little strange to see that. I knew what it was going to be like going into it because I read the synopsis, and the synopsis straight up tells you like this is gonna have it's like an alternate history. It's gonna have mechs and magic, and I was like, oh boy, here we go.
But yeah, I think it's very cool. I mean, we still get to see Obunaga and like, you know,
You get a flashback and then present time kind of thing.
I want to mention that it's the way they present the flashbacks is pretty creative, because like when they do a scene transition into a new flashback, it starts off in black and white, and then you see like a wipe of color that comes in, and then right after that they show you the date and kind of like the location and everything. I didn't get that at first because I thought like, okay, why are they showing the date? And it didn't click with me that like, oh, we're in the past, until they showed off the fact that we see Yasuke the days before, like right when Nobunaga met him, and that's when I was like, oh wait, there's a flashback. And then they showed it a few more times, and I'm like, oh, that is actually really creative that they have that.
No, yeah, it's very cool. It's very a different take on it, like to present a flashback in itself, and then obviously we know the present when he has like his dreads and like,
oh yeah,
you know, he's
just a boatsman.
Yeah, he's just a boatsman, tall boatsman.
And then that little kid trying to beat him up because he wants to be a samurai.
Now, the one thing I was kind of confused at, again, we're still watching this like on an episode by episode basis, so we've only seen episode 1. But the little girl that Yasuke is protecting towards the end, Saki, they didn't explicitly say if like Ichiro, the little kid that was like trying to be Yasuke's disciple, is actually related to Saki. I'm gonna say no, because the mother seems to have more ties to Saki, and I get the argument that like, okay, maybe Saki is just sick, but I want to think that Ichiro is actually not directly related to them. That's my 2 cents. I feel.
Yeah, I think that's a good assumption to say.
I feel like it's simply because she knows how much magical power Saki has, because she, as we saw in the fight, has some skills as well.
Yeah.
So she's not a normal housewife from that era, right?
Yeah,
she's like, she's got some skills. So I feel like she's like, this is really important.
Yeah.
My son who may not have the talent. Can wait a little bit while I go and help my daughter who has the talent and deserves to stay alive and not die from this illness.
That makes sense.
And I just want to make one point. I know the music composer, Flying Lotus. They've done amazing work in the past, so I'm very excited to hear like the music forward. And it was obviously great. The fight scenes when the the beat was.
Oh
pumping
yeah.
up. I was like, ooh,
got like really big like Samurai Champloo vibes out of it.
That Cowboy Bebop and even like some Afro Samurai type of vibes from it.
Yeah, so I can't wait to listen to more, and I'm excited.
Same here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so of course this is episode 1. So if you guys want to give your guys' first impressions based off of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it first impressions. This is really anticipated for me because it came out of left field.
Oh yeah.
And didn't expect it to happen. And then obviously the whole premise is of a black samurai being in Japan. It's like, whoa, okay. And then obviously being mechs and the magic spirits. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
I give it a 7. And plus, Mappa's doing this, and I obviously trust them.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes from here.
All right, and then I guess I'll go next. So the fact that the creative team behind the show is half Western, because I know the director, the music and everything is all Western based. I have mad props to, because we saw the Japanese dub for this. Mad props to the voice actor behind Yasuke.
Yeah.
Really sells the fact that this is actually an African doing a Japanese voice. It really sells that. And yeah, overall it's really exciting. Again, the magical elements and the otherworldly stuff takes a little bit to get used to, but I feel like it's really solid overall. I'm also with you on that one. I'm also a 7 out of 10.
I just wanted to I'm wary about the magic and mech elements, because it's I would personally prefer if it was more true to history.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited to see where it goes. I think a lot of people are hating on it right now. I've seen very low scores, but I'm willing to give it a shot. It has a really cool premise, has cool characters so far. I like Rabbi said, how it's done by actual African American composers. They even got an African to actually play him, who's from Japan, stuff like that. So they really went all out to make it as authentic, I think, as possible. So I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm gonna give it a 6 right now.
Okay.
I'm at the same boat as Josh too. I'm at a 6 as well. There was some scenes that were off to me, but other than that, the show was fine. So I'm just gonna give it a solid 6.
All right.
I'm not gonna push it higher or lower. I think a 6 is good enough for now. For a start, for first impression, first episode. That's what I give it.
And I think it's overall it's fair, because there's more episodes to come. I think this anime has 6 episodes. Yeah, so 6 episodes. We'll see. Yeah, it's really bite sized. So we'll see.
A lot
where
of
this
the
goes.
actual Netflix shows this year, with I know House Husband was really short as well.
right.
So
Yeah.
it might be the starting of a theme for Netflix to have like kind of OVA, ONA type
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah,
know.
that-
I know
that-
the big one, Castlevania. That's like always a weird number with them. But I remember the first season was like 4 episodes. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So yeah, that just comes to be expected with Netflix animes at this point.
It is random. It's
Mhm.
random. Who knows?
Yeah.
How many episodes?
If any more than anything, I feel like Netflix is definitely carrying the spirit of the lost art that is like OVAs for sure.
Yeah, I say so. Because like when you hear OVA,
That gives more shows, more support, I guess. In
Yeah.
a way, even though it's not a full series, at least it was shown.
Yeah.
That's what's important, and eventually it'll get a season. You got
Oh
me?
yeah. All right, and with that, we're done talking about Yasuke. Moving on, we're gonna be talking about is Saint's Magic Powers Omnipotent, episode 4. And not much to really talk about other than
No.
like just bullet points that just kind of interested us. And there's a couple.
yeah.
But other than that, like that final scene or that final like few scenes in the hospital, it was in the clinic. Sorry, it's not much else really.
I enjoyed the fact that she's technically the chosen one. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was basically cleared in this episode how like you can see she has the more power, she has
Yeah.
the more magic. Other than we got to just the character's name. I think her name was Eri.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not living up to the legend, I guess.
Yeah.
And we also
Her
get
training has been going poorly,
Yeah.
as they were
Yeah.
stating.
Kyle messed up on the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took the cutest girl and didn't take the one that had the powers.
What a
she had glasses.
yeah, what a Kyle. What a Kyle thing to do, am I
know,
right?
Such a Kyle. But unlike Kyle, his dad, I like this king. He has the look.
I think you like his name as well.
Oh yeah,
Siegfried.
Siegfried. Great, respectable name.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Siegfried pulls the weight in this harem because other than being
He's the king.
We're having a dad
He has a
added into this.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, bro. Siegfried looks good. I need some competition, bro. I don't want to become the Albert show. Damn it.
No, I do agree. He is a hunk for
Yeah,
sure. Like
bro.
out of
Hey, man,
any
Albert
like
wasn't even in this
isekai.
episode. I don't know, man. Maybe you're right.
Even with Albert out of the picture, bro, it was still the Albert show, man.
He came out of nowhere.
Like,
Man.
how's that?
Oh, yeah.
How?
Like you like at the end
No,
of that
no, it's
episode where
funny.
he gave
Wait,
that
hold on.
approval.
Even in the beginning too, we get like a little scene of him, and then after that, we get the ending with him.
No.
smiling.
You guys also have to admit that like her thinking of Albert was what caused her to do that very Disney-esque spin.
Yeah.
When she was watering the plant, she did that little twirl.
I know.
Oh.
We had to rewatch that. That was just amazing.
Yeah, it looked cool. It looked
Yeah.
cool. Like, and especially like the water effect, it's just reflecting the
rainbow.
rainbow.
The
Yeah.
rainbow's coming out.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, I think obviously like introduced to the king, and then say learning holy magic.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like big move.
She got that overpower ability now.
Yep.
Yeah, she's God.
And no PTSD side effects like from Redo of Healer either.
No, God.
Okay. Let's not mention that.
Yeah, she's
It's because of the hand, man. The guy lost
Yeah.
his hand.
yeah, we got this backstory and all that.
We got his backstory, and she's like, "I'm not gonna take this, man. I'm just gonna heal this dude."
Yep.
And then she's like, well, if I heal one of the guys, everyone
gotta
else is
heal
going to look at me
everyone.
and be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So I got to heal everyone.
Yeah.
See, with that reminded me of Slime when Rimuru was like naming all the goblins.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and especially when Sai, she flexed at the end. She was like, "Oh, what is this spell? Oh, full area heal."
Area heal, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm like,
And then they're all looking at her like, we messed up here.
Yeah.
Like she's the real one.
She's the one.
she's a real saint over here.
Yeah, the other
Hey.
one, fake.
Hey, but at least Albert gave his nod of approval, though. That's what matters.
So yeah, let's hope this harem becomes a harem and not become the Albert show. And let's see what happens to Say.
I want to see more of that donkey too. I love.
Oh
Oh,
my
jeez.
god! I knew you were gonna bring up the donkey.
I gotta bring him up,
Dead
man.
donkeys.
That's a trait of our show here. We gotta bring up all the anime donkeys around.
I guess.
Jeez.
All right, with that, I like to move on to the next anime. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. Episode 4.
All right, so we find out exactly what Leica was talking about with the whole I gotta go back to my family thing, and it turns out
A bit of a tease there.
Yeah.
From the last episode, they kind of thought that it was gonna be a permanent thing, but no, I just gotta go visit my sister's wedding.
Yeah.
I just got a wedding to go to, yeah.
And
Just
then
got a wedding.
She was nice to them, be like, "Hey, you guys want to take along? It was cool." She was like, "Yeah, let's go."
No, and the thing I really enjoyed about this episode was the fact that they were all in dragon form for like half the episode.
Oh god, it was so confusing, man. I was like, "Who's who?"
What do you mean, man? Like, you could obviously tell that the dad had like a long whisker, and like the groom had like a short whisker. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and they were like probably different red of reds.
Yeah, you know.
They were all the same color, red. Guys. Come on.
Oh,
And especially when the blue dragons came in, they were all the same blue dragons. But I do, like David mentioned it, I do give credit. None of them were CG. They were all,
that is true.
2D hand drawn.
For large monsters.
It looked good.
Yeah.
It looked good. They didn't cheap out. And I've been really surprisingly impressed with the animation of the show, even with like the fight scenes and stuff like that, because it comes from a studio I never even like heard of.
Yeah.
So I'm very impressed with the animation. I thought it was gonna be like,
I thought they
honestly, when I first saw like the poster, I was like, this animation's gonna be trash.
I don't blame you.
It impressed me.
Yeah, you don't see no CGI dragons or CGI monsters. It's literally just
They commit. They commit to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, even though they're all.
Especially with the amount of dragons. Like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
there's a lot of dragons.
Yeah.
It must have been hard to keyframe all those dragons on the screen too. There's at one point there's like 10 dragons on the screen.
My favorite dragon's the one that was holding out the beer and the meat at the same time with both his hands.
Oh my god.
We only showed it for like 2 frames, and it was like, oh, that's my dragon right there.
He stands out from the crowd.
He was having fun.
But yeah, we get introduced to the blue dragon, Flatui, or whatever her name.
Flat Torta,
Flat.
also known as Flat Torte.
Yeah, Flat Torta, where she has kind of like I'm 400 years old. I'm never gonna get married. So
No, that means she's 40.
Jeez.
She was like, I have a bad day. You're gonna have a bad day on your wedding.
What a petty thing to do.
I know.
I can't find anyone to love, so I'm gonna ruin your life.
Also, at 300? What? That's too young, man. That also means by her definition, that means 30.
I hope you guys divorce.
Oh God.
That was
What a comeback.
That was funny.
But yeah, we also get we thought Beelzebub left the show for a bit, but then she comes back and the whole family's all together again at the hot springs, baby. And our family is still together, thank God.
And they had a second party too, just to be like, okay, I know the first party was kind of like hard to keep up with. I understand, but it's okay. Us dragons, we got 2 parties set up. One in dragon form, the other in human form.
What? I can't believe they that's just their Leica just passed off as like that's their tradition. Like, why would they do that if there weren't any human guests? Like, just why would you be like, you know what? Okay, let's have 2 parties.
Okay.
Let's have one party in a dragon form, and then.
I've been trying. I came up with this theory when I saw the episode, and I'm going to tell you guys right now. My guess is that in this world, dragons in their dragon form and their human form have like different taste buds and stuff. Like maybe dragons taste. No, I'm serious. Maybe dragons taste like meat and beer differently. And so if you notice, like the food that they were eating as dragons were like a lot more unrefined and stuff. And then like when they go into human form, their palates are more accustomed to humans. Don't. I know. I see you smiling there. I'm telling you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
He's thinking too much.
Yeah.
I just love your theory. I didn't get to hear it beforehand, but I freaking agree.
I wanted to save it for this one right here because I was thinking about it. I'm like, why would they have two parties?
Man. Put him to sleep.
Oh my god.
I would like to talk about something that I found really cool in the episode.
Oh god.
The Dragon Ball Z fight scenes all out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, because of the dragons, right?
She's just like smoking the dragons with like kicks, and man, it was epic.
Yeah, it was.
But she was
cool.
taking all the dragons out.
Yeah, and then she was doing like a big fireballs, and yeah, it was really cool. I do say that. Like,
it's funny how she takes everyone out, just everyone.
And they're like, holy smokes, you took out like 7 dragons in a row. How did you do that?
Yeah.
You're insane.
I'm maxing out my level, baby.
Yeah. The power of 99.
So I have a feeling, of course, because we saw the ending. The blue dragon is gonna end up going with the family.
Yeah, it's inevitable. You know, once you see their forms and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, you know, it makes sense.
And there's nothing wrong with a big family, bro.
Yeah.
The more the merrier.
Yep.
Their house has a lot of rooms.
Yep, there's a lot of rooms.
All right, and with that,
Move on.
The next anime.
Yeah, Mars Red episode 4. This one has a lot more action to it. A lot more meat. I feel like to what's going on.
A lot of blood.
Yeah, yeah.
For
Oh
this
yeah.
one.
I mean,
Yeah.
vampires.
Oh man.
Vampire.
Yeah, the whole setup of like, I guess they want to mass produce vampires. It kind of feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And like
The thing too with you two, I remember you guys saying, "Oh, like, is he a vampire?" Until we finally realized that, oh, he's normal.
Yeah, my turns out Maida is normal. I mean, we still
Maida's
don't have an actual explanation behind his arm or anything, but for the most part, he is normal.
yeah, and obviously
And how fast he is too.
Yeah, he was able to react to the juniors' attacks like
nothing.
wicked fast. Yeah.
I mean, but that came in handy later on, like how he overcome that,
Yeah.
trying to save his friend.
That's the thing. So how is this possible? Is like human strength possible, or is it like
Training.
training?
Yeah.
You think so?
That's what I assume. Like he just
Yeah.
knows how to fight them. Really, like he
He's-
works with them all the time, so he knows like how to fight them.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of like the blade of the universe. Let's just say.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that.
And then if he becomes a vampire, then he's really blade.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we got introduced to Rufus, who was kind of like the one handing out these blood vials and stuff.
Oh, you mean Alucard?
Yes,
Yeah.
Alucard. That's as you like to
Yeah.
mention, because he's from freaking England.
He's English. He has blonde hair. He's
Continue.
very suave. Yeah.
But yeah, we get introduced to him and like how he's kind of connected to the kid as well. Like they're plotting something big on Japan, and obviously we saw in the later half of the end with like a bunch of random civilians became vampires.
Vampires. And
Because of the whiskey, huh?
Yeah,
It was the barrels of whiskey.
All of them being tainted and everything. And I do want to I do find it.
Did you see the detail too inside the barrel? Like the barrel had the vials.
Yeah, I did.
in it.
Yeah, they all had the
Yeah.
vials and stuff. And I do find it fascinating that these guys, like these bad guys and stuff, are like basically making workarounds behind the fact that like 90% of the time, like anybody that's bit by a vampire or like is exposed to like vampiric fluids and anything, die.
yeah.
So the fact that they're working around that, it's like, oof.
Yeah, it's interesting, and we get a little backstory with Saiwa.
Sua.
Oh, Sua.
Sua, yeah.
Our mask guy, who's pretty in the back of the mask.
Yeah, he brought his backup mask, and as basically a form of reconnaissance, they go to the red light district, and he rents himself a room with a geisha attached to it as well.
Yeah.
And you get to see like a more human side of him, actually like interaction with him and other people in general.
I was curious, is the him taking off the mask is affecting the person? That's why she became sick?
No, I think she became sick strictly because of the barrels.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think him taking off the mask will come up in the future. I think that's like it controls his power. I think he has uncontrollable like you know how they're all ranked?
Yeah.
In the show, like they're all ranked like A, B, you know, C class. I think he's a high rank, but he can't control his power, so that's why he wears the mask. Because the mask allows like something to do with his mouth, probably.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up rank because unfortunately we find out that Kurusu is unranked.
Yeah.
He's actually not strong at all. You know, in the vampiric sense.
He's a weak.
Yeah, he's so weak that he can't even be able to telepathically communicate.
Yeah.
With anybody. Yeah.
I'm guessing he's only part of the crew because they needed more members.
Yeah. I mean, like the plus side is that he can be bit as many. I can't say as many times. As long as he has blood in his system, he'll still die. But at least he doesn't have to worry about being a vampire again. You know. All said and done.
But that was hilarious when he's trying to make the call outs. He's like, like falsetto. I hope someone hears me.
They're here.
I was like, oh, come on.
I hope he gets a little bit more dignity, you know, in death or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I do feel bad. The fact
because we had that last episode where he had that great send off for his wife, and then. Come to this, you're like, oh man, come on.
And I think I didn't want to say this before, but I feel like that might be the reason why, like, out of everybody in the crew, his design is like the least remarkable. Like everybody has like some kind of like neat quirk about their design, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's Suwa with the white hair and the mask or whatever, but like he doesn't really have anything that like stands out or anything. He's just a regular guy.
Well, the other soldier too, he was.
That's true.
The only thing he has.
Yeah, the other really good soldiers, he didn't have a great design.
Yeah.
But we can only have one soldier, I guess. That's what I feel like it's happening. But hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah, because they're friends.
Yeah.
Both of them together.
Honestly, yeah.
Those two guys, I think they'll stick it out.
I hope he gets an upgrade. and like,
because that guy's quick.
Yeah.
I was like, holy smokes, he's flashing everywhere, man.
Smoking.
Yeah, that guy was like, we kind of saw we knew how fast he was from other episodes, but we never saw him fight because he's kind of timid.
Yeah,
he doesn't like to fight, but they always keep foreshadowing he's the strongest vampire they have out of all of them, and he is the highest rank probably like ever seen. He's like one of the highest ever.
I think they say that it's the highest in Japan, like period.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we'll see. It was a pretty good episode, honestly.
Oh, definitely.
And obviously plot moving forward with these vials coming in now. And and with that we move on to the next anime. Tōkyō Revengers, episode 4. Finally something new to talk about.
Oh man.
And a lot was exposed in this episode.
And I just want to say that like this is the first time where like something serious is happening in the present.
Yeah.
That doesn't involve Takemichi like being thrown under the train.
And it's cool that we deal with the present time more than the past for this episode at least. So that was cool. I like that.
It was funny how we got there though.
Oh yeah.
He tried to hold her hand and he held Naoto's hand. He's like, oh no!
And you know what?
I don't want to leave.
And you know what sucks is that like because of the fact that like because they explained like how the time traveling works and that like okay, so basically in real time when you go back in time you go back to that same date. So he basically missed out on his opportunity to actually have that tender moment with Hina again.
Unfortunate. So he basically got cock blocked.
Yeah, he did. He did, unfortunately.
By himself. But we go back to the present and we get to revisit an old friend.
Yeah, Atsushi, aka Akun, who up until this point we just saw him in his middle school days with the pompadour and everything, you know, rocking that kakyoin look, all that. But yeah, it's okay. So it's interesting because again, with Takemichi going back to the past, he has changed certain events. And not a lot, granted, but you know, with how little, you know, this went on so far in the series. But despite that, like the big change he made was the fact that Atsushi at one point was actually going to stab Kiyomasa, like straight up, and like be sent to jail.
which is really cool because they hinted that like he had the pocket knife and he was gonna go stab that damn dude, but it didn't happen because Takemichi, he took the whaling of a lifetime.
Oh yeah,
and
that's what changed.
and
But
that's
then
that's what changed. But
we find out, oh no, Omar's favorite character,
Draken. Yeah.
oh yes, when we go visit Aku in present day, and he reveals what happens after the sad truth with Draken died.
Draken dies. Yeah.
It's like damn.
And obviously,
we can only assume that he was killed by our main villain so far in the
Glasses
series,
guy,
the
right?
one that's causing all of this, that changes Mikey into the bad guy he becomes.
Yeah.
Becomes, yup.
And Atsushi ends up becoming a slave to the Manji gang, and his design also, like he goes from like a delinquent like to basically a drug addict, with his like his narrow cheekbones and everything like that.
He looked like he had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
most definitely. Like you said, he looked kind of like Slim Shady over here.
Yeah.
and we find out that he was the one who pushed
Oh yeah.
our main character
That
off
was
the
a
side.
huge reveal,
Most definitely due to them threatening him to do it, because
Pretty much.
in that timeline, Takemichi, we can only assume, if the timeline keeps going where he becomes Mikey's friend and influences him not to get involved in this, we can only assume that Takemichi will become a pretty high-ranking member of the gang, because Mikey already really likes him.
Yeah. And
So, but in this timeline, because he's friends with Mikey, he was probably told, hey, go kill him, you know?
Oh yeah.
watch out for Takemichi. Which, now that you say that, it kind of brings up the fact that our main villain, the guy with the glasses, like, he's not dumb. I feel like he's not very dumb, and he kind of put 2 and 2, because Akun was able to put 2 and 2. Like, hey man, you can go like back in time and like all this. That's crazy.
Because we also have to think, like, they mentioned like the looping mechanism that goes on, like time passes in real time in the world.
Oh yeah, because
changing the past.
Because we noticed that he was laying on, our main protagonist is laying down on the floor, and he's just there.
Yeah.
When he goes back in the past, that was actually cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get to see that, and obviously
Very, very, very interesting time travel mechanics here. I love time travel in shows and anime because they always do it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And I like this one because it shows that his events and characters are picking up on it, are being changed in real time in the present, even when he's not there. Like it's like the events that are happening, like their memories are being changed.
Yeah.
So, for example, Akun, he remembered, stabbing him, but then suddenly his memory was changed and he didn't stab him.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like, you're going through time. You have to be, because it doesn't make sense any other way.
Yeah, and especially after when Takemichi and them had that talk at the bus stop, it kind of triggered that whole thing. I was like, wait, like, why would you say that in that moment?
So I have a feeling this time loop is kind of like a one thread kind of thing. It's not a different thread.
There's not like a parallel universe, or like, oh, we created a split timeline or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all one cohesive timeline.
Yeah, he's literally just changing the future as time goes on. Like it must be very strange for our characters involved. But like it's definitely not parallel universes, not alternate universes or anything like that.
Nope.
It's literally he's just doing it.
Yeah, which is this episode was crazy. Just to take all that in, and it's like it definitely invested me more into the show.
Yeah, and the stakes have become a lot more higher now, because not only does Takemichi have to save his girlfriend, but also the lives of Draken and of course Atsushi as well, because at the end of towards the end of that episode, Atsushi, after revealing everything, decides to jump and commit suicide.
Yeah, because he was tired of it.
Yeah, I think
he was tired of being a slave. He was tired of not having any control. He wasn't happy in his life, and because Takemichi, gave him hope now, so he was just like, save all of us.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna this timeline basically that he's living right now, before Takemichi goes back and changes it, he's done with it. But he's saying, Takemichi, I know you're going back in time. save me so that this doesn't happen again. And then he jumps.
No, it's sad. It's sad to see our MC just tearing up for all of this.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna see a lot more him crying.
And then who's watching in the background?
Oh, Mr. Glasses guy.
Mr. Glasses guy.
The guy I hate.
We haven't been introduced to him.
I already ate him.
He hasn't even said anything, and like
he's the root of all problems in the story so far.
Oh yeah. So we'll see kind of where that goes, and moving on, we're gonna talk about our next anime, Joran, the Princess of Snow and Blood, episode 4. Man, this anime is really like,
it's all over the place.
It is. It's very hard to talk about it.
I feel like it's moving at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Like it should not be like arcs should not be finishing in 3 episodes.
No.
Because we're in another part now.
Another.
Like, I think what I heard from sources, from threads and stuff like that, was they're adapting. I think Joran's like 3. Like there's like 3 books. They call them books, but I think they're just arcs.
Yeah.
And they're adapting all 3 of them in one 13 episode season, which is insane to me.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
So that's why we're getting.
You know what I'm getting?
Speed of light.
Neverland flashback.
Yes, I am. And that is not a good sign.
No, that is definitely not.
That is a terrible sign.
And the funny thing is that, like, again, we haven't really like caught up. We don't know much about like the source material or anything like that, but based off of like what we're seeing, even though everything is kind of like going, like jumping back and forth and like going super fast, the way they're setting things up, it feels like they're setting up for a time skip.
Yeah.
But we didn't get a time skip though, and it just feels really weird and off.
Yeah, like it's not difficult to catch up to the story, but at the same time, it feels overwhelming.
Yeah.
So you're like, I get it, but then this is too fast.
Like main characters are dying off now.
Yeah.
Like Elena's dying off in the 5th episode of this. It's like, and she's a main character.
She is a main character who.
It's like what I don't.
I think she'll come back, of course. I doubt they'll just
kind of, because this whole episode they killed them off, all 3 of the
they killed off her. They killed off Makoto, and they also killed off, well, like by the end of the episode, Sawa.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what's going on anymore, to be honest with you. It's still interesting, and I'm just interested to see how
this ends.
How it ends at this point. I've dedicated 5 episodes to this, and there's only 13. Let's see how it ends.
This show's not like horrible. It's just confusing.
It's just moving too fast. The pacing's really wonky in the show.
Yeah.
Then I think there's nothing much to say because I was lost, and honestly, I just didn't care.
Yeah.
In most parts.
Did you fall asleep again?
No, I was awake. I was awake in this one. I made sure I was awake in this one, and even with me being 120% awake, I still didn't get it.
No, the confusing part. That was only small little confusions. Of course, it was one scene that really confused me way too much. Was that scene when the little girl gave the poison to the main
Sawa,
and I was like, wait, what? I guess this is for the revenge.
Yep, that's the revenge, all right.
And then reincarnated, I guess, to see you in the next life.
Okay. That I threw that hat into the ring. We don't know if that's actually gonna happen.
But she said it though.
Oh yeah, she did say that.
She did say
okay, I thought I was hallucinating.
No, she did say that.
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening in the show.
We'll see next episode.
They're gonna kill off 3 characters in episode 5, our main characters. Like, okay, you better have some crazy explanation for this.
If they do end up doing that, then I can finally say that an anime has taken up I'll say it, a full-on Bollywood movie at this point, because that's like the only medium that I can think of that does stuff like this at a kind of regular basis. So that's definitely gonna make this anime super distinct if they do end up going with that.
Oh god,
we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
It's a train wreck already.
Yeah.
Next Saturday we got SSSS DYNAZENON episode 5. And we get our swimsuit episode.
Those beach swimsuit amusement park episode, water park,
the water park,
the Adventure Dome.
And I'm like Josh now. I'm not looking forward to the fights. I'm looking forward to like the interactions with the
and
characters.
the churro scene, right?
The churro
Damn
scene.
churro scene.
I watched that with my friend Rabbi knows who he is, Pat.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there and we were just like, what's going on? Did it freeze? What's happening here?
She's
This is
chewing
the
on that
weirdest
churro.
thing I've ever seen.
Chewing on that
It's just her
churro.
just chewing it and then
Yeah.
like making awkward small talk, and I'm like,
Yep. There they are.
and then the villain guy comes in the frame and just like interrupts the whole thing, and then they walk out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
They do.
Yeah, that was so weird. I don't know why that happened.
It was another slow slow episode. There was
Yeah.
some scenes
Yeah.
that were interesting, but overall it was just a slow. And
I
then when it
think-
came to the fighting scenes at the end, I was like, oh my god, I'm just done.
Right. I think that's a deliberate choice. I want to believe it's a deliberate choice on the team themselves, because they've already shown us kind of like what Gridman was like and what Gridman was about, and they're not about making just like Gridman 2 basically. They want to experiment. They want to do something different with this season, with this series. And I commend them for that. Like I really do think that like what they're doing, hopefully will pay off.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah,
following
this-
what they're doing.
This show is very. I was, like I said, I was talking to my friend. It's
Yeah.
very weird.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird way of storytelling. It's non-linear, and it basically has like a bunch of scenes
Yeah.
that give like a little blip of information.
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's all you get. Like a
Yeah.
tiny little bit of information. Like we find out.
Finally, the sister thing.
Oh,
we,
yeah,
find,
yeah.
we find out today that Minami actually has PTSD of the water, because that's where she found her sister drowning in the water, or drowned. And that's very traumatic for her. So traumatic that she doesn't swim or go in the water or anything anymore. And then we have like a little blip of information with Koyomi and the other girl going on the date.
That one, I was at the edge of my seat when I saw that flashback, because I was just thinking to myself, like, oh shoot, Koyomi's gonna like take the blame for this one. Oh shoot, maybe this is the reason why he became a NEET.
Yeah.
They didn't fully tell us that, but like that's the vibe that we're getting.
Yeah,
with
it
this.
kind of.
Yeah,
took it that
I
way.
believe that vibe. Like he took the blame for breaking the window and he got in massive trouble.
And
for that.
like, I don't know, man. Like I feel like my feeling towards the manager lady is like starting to not like her that much.
She's kind of sketchy, but
Yeah.
also I want to point out too that his cousin is also like, she repeated the exact same
She
thing.
did, yeah, that's true.
And also they
And her
they
arm.
zoomed in on her. She kept her like arm thing on.
That's true. Yeah.
While it was in the pool, and they purposely zoomed in on that, so it's
Yeah.
like that's an important thing
Well,
to
'cause
know.
the girl that you like, Josh,
Minami.
noticed it.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
noticed
she
it right
noticed
away.
it. She was like, "Huh? Why are you not taking that off?"
Yeah.
So
That was interesting.
Yeah, but that
There's-
running gag though of that
this
guy.
show has goods and bads, man.
Oh, that running good with the lifeguard?
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh, the lifeguard is like,
the
hey,
lifeguard was funny.
no jumping,
Yeah, that was
no
funny.
running. It's the same shot of him like with the megaphone
No,
too.
and he stayed quiet too for a moment because
Yeah,
he
'cause they
saw
didn't-
that they actually followed the rules, so he
Oh, yeah.
just
Yeah.
he just stayed quiet there.
No, but the running gag I was talking about was the one that we've been seeing episode to episode, where the red-haired guy was like, something happens,
yeah.
and like he almost dies.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
oh, I guess I'm alive. He says this every single episode.
I know, he does.
Kind of that gag is dying on me, man.
Hey,
Yeah, I
you know,
think so too. I don't find this anime to be like super funny. Some parts are funny, like the lifeguard.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm really enjoying about this anime, and I recognize now with this episode especially, it's definitely not for everybody. Like this
No.
type of storytelling is very abstract. It's
Yeah.
very like unique, and I could definitely see, because I noticed that this show is pretty low rated on most sites.
Mhm.
This
And
show,
I was trying to figure out why.
yeah, to me,
But-
this show and Mars Red are
Yeah.
the shows that are really like. I
They're the
feel like it's not
artistic
for
kind.
they're not for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people that are watching those shows don't like. DYNAZENON is very like, it's even for trigger standards, it's very like abstract in its storytelling. It, like I said, basically just throws information at you at all angles and says put it together.
They took a page out of Hideaki Anno's notebook, and they're like, hey, let's try this, guys.
Yeah.
Let's try this one.
It's like they throw information and they're like, all right, you figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it basically is like, okay, you figure out what's going on, and you know, for some of them it's easy.
Yeah.
And then for like with Minami and her sister now, like even the very last scene was weird scene. The way they cut it off at that, I was like, okay.
I feel like they did that on purpose. I don't think they're going to leave
us. It definitely did, but
yeah.
it's very like it's weird to see. We didn't get to see a payoff for when he told her that it was a suicide.
No
like,
reaction.
It was just like end screen.
No reaction, and like more importantly, like he didn't even get to finish that sentence either.
Yeah.
They just left it as suicide, and then that was it.
Yeah.
So
it was just like, and I don't think honestly, by the way the storytelling is going, I don't think we're gonna see that payoff. I think that it's just gonna cut to her like reaction to it, like later on, with maybe her friend or something.
Yeah, I seriously think that too, but we'll see. This one's a like, again, like the way the anime rolls, it's definitely not your traditional mech show, nor is it a trigger show.
I feel like it's not it doesn't connect to a lot of people because it's kind of difficult to follow the story.
It's kind of difficult. It reminds me of like one of those abstract shows that are like they're trying to tell you something, but they want you to figure out. They don't want to tell you. It's non-linear storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we said it like last episode. Like I mentioned, is like the fights are not interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, especially for a
the
trigger.
fights are.
Especially
Man,
for a
I
trigger.
could go with fights.
No, you know what?
Those two transformation scenes, I think, was like,
oh
think,
my god.
I think that's where it messes up. They should have left. They should have done a different show instead of doing this show.
Yeah.
I think the show definitely could have been done without the mecha element to it.
No, well, not this,
but not really.
Not this specific thing. Like it could have been somewhere else, like a space anime or something like that. Get it away from the city kind of
thing. Yeah.
Or even if they just had, even if it was just like this type of storytelling for the whole thing, like they didn't really even need to have the mechs or anything like that. Just have a character study.
I think my personal.
Well, that's because Nyber at that point.
My personal problem with the mech fights in this one isn't necessarily the fights themselves, but like it's mostly on the stakes of the fights, because like none of the characters seem to be that attached to the city that they're trying to protect or anything like that. No. Because like in most shows, and I'm not just saying tokusatsu shows, but just shows in general that involve actions between a force of good versus a force of evil, per se, there's always a sense of stakes. There's always a sense of these are the people, or this is our home that we're trying to protect.
Yeah.
But it's not really any of that. If anything, it's like, again, like I think one of you guys said this, but it's like a team of rivals fighting it off pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like
like I was talking about this earlier to myself too. Like there's only two characters that the rivalry or anything matters to. Yeah. And that's Galma and the other red-haired guy. They're the only people that care. None of the other team care. They're conversing with, the other members of the team.
Don't
just
even talk to each other.
They're just more like curious about the whole situation they're in. None of, our main three other than Galma people like care about anything that's going on. They're just trying to live their lives like high school. Like Minami's focused on getting the truth about her sister. Yomogi's focused on like
part-time
being
job.
in love with Minami, and Kiyomi's just like focused on his date and stuff like that. None of these stakes are interesting to them. They all seem really like uninteresting.
Maybe that's why people aren't interested in the show itself,
because the characters seem kind of not focused on
the characters are very aloof in this show. I noticed, like the way their actions are, it's very slow, very like, what's going on, type of stuff like that.
Yeah, it is a huge contrast to Gridman, because like I feel like the only character here that feels more like a Gridman character is Galma more than anything.
Yeah, none of the other characters.
He's been slowing down a bit.
Everybody was like on board. Even the kids were like, oh, we gotta go to the computer and we gotta save the world. Like, and the the kaiju were like really big stakes. Like, we gotta protect our home and stuff like that. Here, kaiju destroys like 5 buildings, and they're just like, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
What this could melt a light post, whatever.
And that's the thing too. I feel like Trigger themselves is not giving the show like love for the mechs, because during Gridman we would always see like these kids watching the news and stuff like that, or like, oh damn, is this gonna happen to us, or like stuff like that. We had a actual like surrounding area that would happen, you know.
Right.
And on this one, it's just about the characters, and that's it.
Right.
Like none of the characters care about the mech at all. If you are a mecha fan and you just love mecha, you'll hate the show.
Yeah.
Because this show has like barely anything to do with the mecha. And none of the characters care about the mecha. In fact, they actively like go their way almost to be like, I'm busy, I don't want to train.
Yeah.
Type of stuff.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And then whenever they try to, let's go turn this kaiju a monster.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right.
Like,
we're doing.
Do we have
It's
to?
like a big
We have
chore
to
for everyone
Yeah.
to do this.
It's just a pain
Even
in
the
ass.
enemies, like, let's go.
Even the guy that visited the water park with him was like, all right, I'll go do it.
Let's
Yeah.
go. I guess we'll give you guys the scene of transforming like 15 seconds, and then
It
the
almost
fight is
almost
like
reminds
3
me of
seconds.
it almost reminds me of like the show itself, like Trigger itself is like, okay, I know we marketed this as a mecha anime. Here you go. Here's your mecha fight scene to keep you all happy.
Yeah, but
Doesn't feel like it, man.
but I'm on Josh's sides now. I'm more interested in the characters than the mech itself.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens next episode, and
And then now from there, we finally move on to our next anime on the list, Vivy Fluorite Eye Song, episode 6.
Oh man, what an episode!
Now, okay,
Oh
now
boy,
this
this
one.
episode was crazy.
Oh
it
yeah.
was.
Oh man. With the
I don't want to
action
skip
and
ahead because we're going to talk about the whole thing, but man, that ending scene got me.
No,
dude.
go ahead.
I just realized that this, whole thing that she's doing is like, it's harming her now.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it's becoming like not good, and she's becoming worse of a person for it. Like she's becoming really cold and callous, and she's changing now.
Yeah,
from what she used to be.
Matsumoto's definitely rubbing off on her.
No, but the thing is that she's also, it's weird because she feels more human now than ever.
Yeah.
Before she was just, oh look, I'm gonna just sing for everyone, and now she's like, she has consequences, or like thoughts of this affecting her now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it makes sense from the robot, or the little eye robot thing.
Matsumoto, yeah.
Yeah, Matsumoto.
Yeah, Matsumoto.
It makes sense. I told Rabbi this.
Mhm.
I told him from Fate Zero. There's a scene where our main protagonist had to blow up a plane
Yeah.
to save basically that
Humanity.
whole
I remember
location.
that.
Sacrificing the few to save many. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it gave me that
Vivy's
same
turning
vibe.
into a kind of an anti-hero at this point with this episode. Like she's turning into a, are you gonna save thousands of people, or are you gonna save one person? She's like, I'm willing to sacrifice the one person.
I'll be honest, I was shocked when
he was shocked too. The robot thingy.
He was completely shocked.
Yeah,
I
he was
was
like,
I was
"Oh,
completely
you're
shocked
on my side?"
when
I
when
respect that.
Diva was like, oh, I'm just gonna when Matsumoto's like, no, it's impossible, she's like, okay, whatever. I was like, oh, what?
Yes.
Like, because like 4 episodes ago she was like,
no, there
we,
has to be a way.
we're like getting injured by Matsumoto trying to save that girl from the plane.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
Like-
You know, it was crazy. It kind of shocked me too. This whole time she was called Diva, and then she was like, I'm not Diva.
I'm Vivy.
I'm Vivy. And I was like, oh, okay. That it gave me chills. I was like, oh damn. Like, cause this whole time, like, we call her Vivy, we call her Diva, but like finding this episode was like, nah, when I'm doing this stuff, when I'm trying to save the world, humanity itself, I'm Vivy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
And I feel like this whole arc that we're facing here is basically a direct consequence to the previous arc that we had.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting because like the previous 2 arcs had like such a positive turnout, like all around. It had a positive turnout, not only just the situation itself, but also the timeline itself. But this is the first time where this issue was a non-issue in the original timeline, and like instead, the butterfly effect basically made it so that in this timeline, it's way worse. In this situation.
I'll be honest right now. I think at this very point in time, Matsumoto has no idea what he's doing. I think he is. I think history is going to continue down the exact same route as it was before. It's just different circumstances. And I think even all of this work, because I think that's just fate. I think that's what it's destined to be. Because we've seen during these arcs, even when she's changed stuff, the AI, that building over there that they're constantly alluding to has never stopped building, no matter what happens. And I don't think that's going to change. I think Matsumoto has no idea what he's doing, and he's just making it up on the fly and trying to figure something out. And that building's just going to continue to build.
Well,
I
don't know, man.
I think more so than anything, but there's always like a kind of, I mean, obviously, like his character, it's his character, his personality, but there's always like a smug aura that just, I don't know, it just doesn't really like ever like sit right with me. And that hasn't really changed despite the fact that, you know, in universe, it's been 20 years and such that's been going on, and he's been activating constantly back and forth whenever like a key moment arises and everything. And I feel like that and I do agree with you, Josh. I feel like that right there might be a direct consequence of what's to come later.
Like I think especially Matsumoto, I think, like I said, I think he has good intentions, but I don't think he knows anymore, and he's just trying to make stuff up. Because this one arc was the first time I really saw him be like, it comes as a surprise to me too that they're still building it. And then it felt like every single thing, like every single plan he came up with was just on the fly, like the way he was talking about it and stuff like that. And like Vivy was like, is this gonna work? And he was just like, yeah, it'll work fine, perfectly.
And I think to further the theory on that is the fact that because of how advanced he is as an AI in the future, that he's becoming, in a sense, he's more human than any of the previous AI that's been created. And because of that whole element, because of that human element, there's also the possibility of the human error that also comes into place as well.
Dang, you guys just give me chills right now. Just thinking about,
I mean, again, this is all just theorizing right now.
You know, speculation.
Yeah, like
don't know 100%.
his mission is very broad, and we alluded to that too in the last episode as well. That they do more things when they have a really broad mission. The more specific your mission is, the more control you have over your AI.
Yeah, so you don't technically have control of what you're saying at that point. You just say it and bam, you know. So it's hard to know what's right and what's wrong at this point. They're messing way too much in time.
I just want to say one thing. I'll just get to the end of it, like how, you know, Grace was the Doctor's whole purpose to save, and how he was trying to get her voice and like back to life basically, and just how Vivy basically killed both of them. And like that shot.
That moment was so sad when Vivy's like tries to save it in her own weird way. She's like, I hope you find happiness. He's like, you're kidding, right? Like you seriously are gonna say that to me, basically. He's like, you didn't give me Grace was my only happiness, and you took that away from me. And then, you know, the gunshot happens, and then you have the symbolism where she has the blood from Grace, the blue blood from Grace, and then the red blood from him on her hands.
That was a good shot, and honestly, it gave me chills. But especially how she goes crazy.
I was curious too. How are they even gonna get Grace back in a way? I was not even particularly sure on that either.
I want to imagine that like Dr. Psyche, like even though what he was saying like did sound far-fetched and everything, I want to see that I want to think that there were definitely like some basis around what he was saying, because like
she looked pretty gone though, from how
I think he just wanted to, what Vivy said, I think he just wanted to take the Grace that was made for him,
but what if
take her like her data from the old Grace and put it into her, because the old one's like obviously not, if it was functional.
What if it was already corrupted already though?
We don't know, but he was willing to try for the thing he loves, right? Like whatever. you know.
And that's where the human element comes in.
Yeah, that's why it's struggling to know which one's right and which one's wrong.
When we're never gonna know.
We're never gonna know.
We're never gonna know because it's too late now.
We're just moving forward at this point.
Yeah.
And, you know, it affected Vivy. You know?
Yeah.
It's scary to see how Vivy's become over these episodes because she's actually really cold.
Yeah.
And she's become very like more ironically, the more she tries to save humanity, the more of a robot she becomes to human emotions.
Yeah.
Like she's closing her heart more and more.
Yeah, like she, you know, how in the first few episodes it was like a really big deal, and she was like, "What does it mean to put your heart into something?" I feel like she's losing that now.
Like when she saved that boy, when she saved that boy too.
She was she's concentrated too much on her mission that she's losing her, I guess, humanity in a way.
Maybe her identity.
Yeah,
her identity thing, you know.
Yeah, and ironically, here's another theory I have. I think that's what caused the AI destruction in the first place.
Yeah.
Because we got scenes of AIs strictly following the routine, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know how everyone's burning around her, and the like sequel android to Diva's just singing like it's normal.
Yeah.
Like they're so caught up in their mission that they don't even realize the massacre they're doing, the damage they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. You know, this anime's still going.
These are all our theories.
I'm excited to see kind of, again, this arc is concluded, so I'm excited to see how much more of a time jump is going to be for the next arc, and kind of what the next arc is going to cover.
We kind of saw a change on the guy in the beginning too. I forgot to say.
Yeah.
The guy I hated.
Yeah, he's definitely turning around.
It turns out that he's like, you saw a quick flashback of him like having an AI, like there was something that caused him to dislike them.
Yeah. So.
But at the same time, he saved Vivy.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with him too.
We'll see.
This anime is criminally underrated. It barely has 100,000 people watching it. Like it's one of the best of the season so far.
I mean, as long as we talked about it, I mean, we still have more to. We could talk all podcast.
Yeah,
honestly.
we can make the whole podcast of just Vivy itself.
But,
but there's another one.
Unfortunately, we gotta move on to another great show. Honestly, To Our Eternity.
Oh man,
episode 3.
Yeah. So this is another show that we can also talk extensively about. And wow, what an episode! I'm like.
I was happy and terrified at the same time.
Yeah.
At the end.
Edge of my seat, man.
I was on the edge of my seat.
It's just,
all this,
especially like this, just like in the beginning, like how you know, March is like she's still with our alien
She's
friend.
so innocent, man.
Yeah, she is. And like how they find her, and you're just like, all right, I'm going away now. Bye. And
I want to say that like. Again, like I don't know what it is, but like most child characters, like most people, including me, like either don't care about or just don't like. But March isn't one of them. Like I feel like to me personally, like March really captures that like that innocent youth, the type of character, and the fact that this sort of circumstance is like pushed on her, the fact that she has to sacrifice herself for the sake of her village, for the sake of appeasing the gods and everything like that. It's super heavy. Like no child has to go through that.
Yeah.
And it was so upsetting too when she was taking the sleeping drug thing.
Oh, the sleep jelly.
Yeah, that was tough, man.
And then the text started appearing. I was like, whoa.
It was basically her
Going through
mindset
that,
saying all that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you don't have to do this.
Don't
like,
do
no,
this
I have
to me.
Obviously, our girl, you know,
the sister.
she's trying to save her, man. Like all she can. And it was cool how she pulled out her little pocket knife.
Yeah.
And then we get to see
The motion and the animation.
it's insane.
And then the music too with the bear as well.
Oh my goodness.
The bear, we didn't even know where it was coming through. You
Yeah.
just hear the tree shake and everything. I was like, my God.
It was gruesome though. Like one of the details that I noticed was like after the bear ate the guy, and like you see like a zoom in to like a POV shot from inside the bear's mouth. You could actually see like little bits and chunks of like the dude too, like stuck to his teeth.
Yeah.
Like I hate to give you that
was
visual, but like
gross.
that's attention to detail though.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the bear was the same bear that killed them earlier.
Ate the alien, yeah.
Yeah, ate the alien on the first episode, I think. I was like, oh damn! But at that time he didn't have that many arrows. Now
Oh yeah.
now for sure he had a ton of them.
Yeah, you could tell that this bear went through a lot. even before his appearance kicked off and everything.
Oh yeah.
We also realize now that our main alien guy can actually just straight up switch between forms.
I'm really happy
wants.
about
that was
because
amazing.
I'm really
that whole
happy.
scene.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we get to see him go back to the wolf form, because like the wolf, like it's interesting because like he still hasn't figured out how to be a proper human yet, but like he caught on real quick. I'm guessing it's because of the fact that wolves in psychologically speaking are way less complicated than a human than human interaction is.
Yeah.
So when it came to like going back to wolf form, it immediately knew, it's like, okay, I can run and like act like this.
Yeah, he's used to it too. He lived for like a long time with that boy as a wolf.
Yeah.
Instead of in the human form. Like the human form is really complex. You have to like stand up and like move your we know how to do it. Obviously we've lived like this all our life, but if you're like think of it like a baby, right?
Yeah,
like a baby doesn't know how to walk right away.
Yeah.
You got to think about like how the aliens aspect of it is like, you got these nerve systems and like joints. I'm not as strong. If I was maybe a wolf, and it was like, oh, that's what I should.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was getting slashed.
Oh yeah.
He was getting mauled at, slashed, everything. I was like, Jesus.
But unlike previously, this time the alien has witnesses.
Yeah.
And in full display and everything, as for him reviving, transforming from boy to wolf, like it was intense.
Yeah, that lady, the lady who was trying to do the ritual was like, oh my god, he's a demon.
He's God.
Found our new god.
God now.
Yeah, that's crazy. That fight was insane, and just like, especially with the part where like it's basically sucking the life out of the bear god.
I think at this point, like the bear, like because of how battle damaged it was, like it was barely just holding up.
No,
Pun.
it was.
It was hardly like, it was super like, it was barely clinging on to life itself.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's like, okay, bite off my nose. That's it. Done.
Nah, I don't think that was it. To me, it was the alien
right,
itself sucking out the soul out of it.
You're right. Yeah.
To a point where it finally gave out.
Because each time each time the alien made like a vital attack, like it was like literally like tingling from like the fur down.
Yeah,
so something was
wolf's
going
fur
on.
was shaking every time he gets deep into the skin of the bear. And
Yeah.
little by little, the bear stopped swinging little by little, and then finally gave up at the end. Of course,
so there was
snatched it.
There was definitely like some kind of like parasitic kind of like drain going on or whatever that we the audience don't know fully yet.
And the best thing about all that, March lives.
March lives, yeah.
And the sister too. I was scared for the sister as well.
They showed the sister like after the bear like tried to do that whole swipe, but we didn't see March, and I was like, I was scared for like up until the battle ended, because I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
What's the aftermath?
Yeah.
They did not show March on purpose, and it was scary.
You're about to lose it, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that they both lived, and I guess we're still gonna continue with their journey, and hopefully we'll see from there.
See the aftermath of how they treat him.
And obviously,
Hey, but the alien learned how to say thank you though.
Yeah.
Yeah, in wolf form.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy, but it was sweet at the same time.
Hey, but
Because March enjoyed it.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was like, oh, he learned.
yeah, it's sweet. And with that, move on to the next anime.
Yeah, from there we move on to My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 6.
Oh man, the fight continued on. Yeah. And it finished.
Kinda had to.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we can talk about this one, guys. It was just
No, this
like,
one.
it's just the fight scene, We learned kind of like that the shadow guy likes the mushroom girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
and we saw our favorite Class A lose.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I want to mention that, like, because it's been a while since I read the manga. The chapter for this came out like a good solid like 3-4 years before this anime aired, before the season. And I want to say that like Team B was like way too nice in saying that like, oh man, I won, but like at what cost? And I'm like, really?
Yeah, you guys won pretty good.
Yeah, you guys get to keep all your members.
4-0.
Yeah,
Didn't even
it was a
lose single
landslide.
member.
Yeah, it was a slaughter fest over here. Like, yeah, they kind of.
It wasn't even close. Like the mushroom girl, they just dominated the whole playing field. Like it wasn't even close.
I gotta say that mushroom girl almost killed a person with that one mushroom.
Like
move.
she planted.
and then they're like, oh my gosh, she's actually like sick in the head because she almost killed Tōkyō like by putting mushrooms in his lungs
to stop him
suffocate
from
him?
breathing.
Yeah, like, are you crazy? It's just a competition.
This isn't like they're not actually villains. Like, calm down. You're gonna kill your classmate, dude.
Hey, man.
All of you.
Oh,
Wow.
but Tōkyō says the best line.
Oh,
ever.
the best line. No, not just for MHA, but just period. And
Yeah.
Omar, you say it. What was it?
You say. I kind of forgot.
Fair enough. But I'll remind you. When you look at the abyss looks at you back.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
My favorite line that he said was actually when he said in English, "Can't stop twinkling."
That's Aoyama's name.
Yeah,
That's his hero name. Can't stop twinkling.
In his like edgy, but in English, in his edgy voice. It was just so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That was the battle.
yeah, we got to see who fights next, and yeah, basically it. Yeah, there's nothing much to talk about.
Hey, but Hagakure, she was doing something to the manga guy. It was so weird. Like, and I feel like again, like you could tell that Team B was way better coordinated because I know like they were saying like, oh man, we won, but at what cost? But I'm like, come on, you didn't even like the first Team A didn't
Class
even
A
involve.
had zero coordination. They didn't. It felt like they didn't even know each other's moves.
They didn't even give Aoyama to do like they.
At least the first squad they did better
Yeah.
than them. They actually worked as a team.
Yeah,
These
like they
guys-
lost some members, but
Yeah.
like they got something done.
Yeah, I'm like, Mama was like, yo, I'm gonna be a sacrificial pawn.
But I want to mention that it might have something to do with the fact that Shinso was involved, because I don't want to imagine what would have happened. They probably would have lost.
Maybe. I feel like that.
Actually, you know what? That might be it, because they
Yeah.
had like, what was it, 5 against 4? So it's like, yeah, you're gonna have a good, slightly better advantage if you have another member that's, especially one that's not brain dead.
Yeah.
But anyway,
We'll see next episode on this
Oh, we'll see the next squads.
next
yeah.
battle. And with that, we move on to the next show.
Yeah.
Invincible,
Ho.
episode 6 and 7.
Yeah, so
Jeez.
there's a lot. Like, even if we were to just talk about one episode, there was a lot going on. Again, we understand it is an hour long each episode, but my goodness, the amount of content they pack feels like a whole movie per episode.
In 8 episodes, we have like this insane story going on
Yeah,
here.
this
Like
whole saga.
It's gone off the rails.
Yeah.
You know,
Like especially in episode 7. Like episode 6, it felt like it was kind of just like
It was self-contained.
it felt like it was like here's a little break. You
Yeah.
got a little
No,
break,
it
you
was-
got a
it
little,
was not
you
that
got
much of a
little-
break.
A new character, a little monster of the week type thing.
so-
Yeah.
But then the next episode was like, okay, we're gonna throw the whole kitchen sink at you. And,
No, but the
you deal
thing-
with it now.
The thing that was crazy about the episode 6 one was the enemy, the guy, the crazy ass dude,
Mad
Yeah.
scientist.
the mad scientist
Literally
dude.
just kidnapping people and
Yeah.
murdering them
I was like,
basically.
but that shit was powerful though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really powerful.
Yeah,
for what they are.
And I was just thinking that, like, at first it was like, okay, maybe Mark was just still in the dumps, especially like how bad he lost and everything like that. But later we find out that no, these cyborgs are legitimately really powerful.
Yeah, and it even plays a big part in episode 7.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
that was insane. But yeah, episode 6 was basically Mark trying to stabilize his life.
Yeah. Mark's messing
trying to
up.
it basically has 3 different like stories going on. You have Mark trying to like figure out what's going on here
Robot.
with Ashley, and then you have Robot getting like his new body. And then you have the whole thing where it's like,
Omni-Man.
all right, the world versus Omni-Man.
Yeah, it's insane, but it all works.
And at least we get a payoff to Robot, because that was handled pretty interestingly. Like, amazingly speaking, like he accomplished his goal like really well. Like he knew what he wanted. He took the means to get what he wanted done, and it paid off for him. He got his body, which was really uncanny though, because it wasn't just like, oh, this is based off of my own DNA. No, it's let's take Rex, who Monster Girl kind of has a crush on, maybe?
So
question
creepy.
mark.
That was creepy.
Like, I remember when you guys were saying, oh, I think Robot has a thing for Monster. I'm like, I don't see that at all. And then like the next few episodes, I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah, it really showed. It really showed that.
And the fact that like, when the blue guys are like, oh, come on, man, a teenager's like, well, actually, I'm 30 in a teenage body.
Yeah.
So hey, look, they can be together because they both look like children, but they're both of age.
Yeah, one's 24, the other one's 30. There you go. You know,
Totally.
it's not
nothing wrong.
That's pretty normal. You know, in a normal circumstance, but not here.
And you know, we gave so much shit for Rex. You know, acting. Stupid.
I think his
reaction this time was like, it was understandable.
It was understandable. It's like, really? You really took my DNA and you made a kid version of me, dude? You basically
took my identity?
You're actively ruining my childhood just by me looking at you.
Oh my god.
No, it's funny too, because like I kind of forgot that Robot took his DNA, because like I don't know why it didn't click to me that like this was based off of Rex's DNA, or this is based off of Rex's visage, until he came into the scene with the human body in the showing off to the Guardians, and I'm like, wait a minute, oh snap.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Robbie. I had no idea that that was the thing until I actually didn't even know it was a thing. When Rex was saying it, I was like, they kind of look alike, but like, come on, Rex, calm down. And then when he actually said, I stole your DNA, I was like, huh? Did I miss that?
No, yeah, you did.
It's so quick. Like,
it was very quick, yeah.
It's just instantly. It's like he took a little blood sample from him.
And this was like, I think this was back when they were still
still training. They were
still training. Yeah.
It was during the training area, and then he goes behind his back and then pricks him.
I'm also really glad that the whole mind transfer thing actually like worked, because I'm just like, oh my god, are we doing the whole 50-50 thing?
It kind of worked.
Yeah.
But that was actually handled well. It was pretty sad too.
Yeah.
Because Robot did technically die, because the original body's like gone now.
But like even the original body's like, this was the whole plan, man. Like, come on, you could live your life, Robot.
Live for me, man. Yeah. Live for me.
I like how the blue guy mentions like, well, this is normal. Make a clone of yourself and you try to put your personality into it.
Even the blue guys were like tearing up. Like, man, that's kind of sad.
And I want to mention that like I don't think in the whole span of the series that we've seen so far, have the blue guys actually killed anybody other than like that time where he killed himself as like a human shield?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, they did when they escaped. Those guards.
Yeah, he killed the guard.
Oh, he killed one of them. He's like, oh shoot, that was the one that gave us like the chicken pot pie.
Yeah, like, oh man,
he felt bad for that one though.
Yeah,
like he actually had a conscience for that one. Yeah,
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
but yeah, whole Mark handling Amber really like upsetted me.
Oh, with how Amber took it, especially like after like when he revealed himself, like, hey, you know, I'm invincible. It's like, well, duh, I knew you were a superhero.
But she has to understand, like, there's heroes has a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah. But do you trust me though, man? Do you trust me?
It was the trust thing, because like even though she knew, he never told her, and he would make up lies, and he's like, our whole relationship was like a lie. That's what she was like, and that makes sense because I don't know why he didn't. I was just like, I'm like screaming at the screen.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell her? Like, you told Eve, and Eve told Amber that she was like, nothing's happening between those two. Like, where are the big consequences here?
Because the argument could be made that like Mark
She's
was
not the
thinking
one.
of Amber's safety. It's like,
That's
okay,
a-
if I reveal myself as Invincible, then something bad might happen to her. But, like Josh mentioned, like Eve, like she already knows about Eve's story.
But
about
at the
how-
same time, that also affects her because she doesn't know what's happening.
yeah,
at
she
the
was in the
same
dark
time.
pretty
Yeah.
much the whole time.
Yeah. I don't know. Just I'm like, obviously we know and everything.
Yeah.
happened to Mark, and just her treating him like that really rubs me the wrong.
Like,
way.
it ruffles your
he
feathers.
was trying to live both worlds at the same
It's-
time, but
yeah.
it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't.
it's
No,
not your
not when
fantasy
you
world.
have like so many responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like you can never live a double life.
Yeah.
Not like
And-
Superman.
And to be fair, Eve did bring up is like, hey, this is the reason why dating regular people as a superhero, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
did mention that before.
Yeah.
I just want to mention my wingman or
Will, oh my goodness, Will was
He's a
like
cool
there
guy.
for him. Like he was there for him, and like even
Damn,
despite
he straight out told him to. No, he found out too when he looked at him. He was like,
yeah,
Mark.
yeah, he found out, and like honestly, like I wouldn't have blamed Will if like he pretty much disconnected himself from Mark after the fact that like
'cause he
Mark
said-
could have saved
His
Rick,
boyfriend.
yeah,
Yeah.
could have saved his boyfriend.
yeah,
Yeah,
because it was 6 months
Yeah.
that he
Disappeared.
disappeared. And
uh-huh.
What a nice guy. He just stayed with him.
Yeah, Will was there for him.
Yeah, what a nice dude.
I'm also really glad the fact that Will
Did not
didn't-
die.
Well,
Will
we'll
did
talk about that.
Yeah,
when
we'll
we
talk
get
about
there.
that later.
Terrifying
Me
at that
too.
moment.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
was like, please do not just murder him straight
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Will's relationship with Mark and being there for him as a good friend, the thing that he brought, my favorite example of his was like the fact that
when
like
he was
when he
getting
brought
cut
up,
up?
yeah, when he brought up the fact that like you and Amber broke up weeks ago, you just didn't realize it, and he brought up the whole samurai thing and the burger just slipped. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that was
funny.
clean. That was clean. I
was
like
good.
that a
That was a
lot.
good example, honestly.
And he
Yo,
kept eating that burger that way. I'm like, all right, commitment to the joke. I like that.
No, yeah.
That guy's cool.
Will's a good,
Yeah.
good friend, honestly.
yeah.
And let's just jump into episode 7.
Oh yeah, no, we gotta talk about episode 7 because oh my goodness, episode 7's a lot to unpack.
Omni-Man goes on a rampage, and it's beautiful to look at.
And like the thing is that like
It's like in a bad way.
very, very bad way.
It's
but
hard to trust at this point. I don't know who to
It's-
trust, man.
It's
I don't know who's like
Who's in the
I don't
right?
know how this is gonna like pan out normally for everyone involved. Everyone involved is gonna be really messed up after this.
and you know what? And you know what? The thing that I've noticed that like could have been avoided is if Debbie, if Mark's mom just said, "Yeah, I trust you," because Omni-Man was actually ready to tell her the whole thing, like why I'm doing the thing I'm doing.
Do you blame
No,
him?
no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't gonna say, "Just trust me."
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all he was gonna give. Just trust me.
No, I
If
mean-
you believe in me, just trust me.
I mean, again, like that ship's already sailed, so we don't know exactly if or why he would have happened. I
feel like
it
she
probably
kind of
would've.
messed up the plans as well because
Yeah.
she forces Omni-Man into this state of rage.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
makes it impossible for the CIA guys to do anything
Yeah.
about it, right? Like we see Donald die because he's sitting there and then he just gets like it
Yeah.
grabs his like spinal cord over.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
so
Not my
funny.
man Donald, bro.
That was a lot. This episode was a lot of disgusting scenes, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I just gotta say that I never seen a kitchen island be like that.
Guy got sliced by the kitchen island.
I felt bad for that lady too. That
Oh,
got
the one that her body like twisted
like
and stuff?
contorted, and
Yeah.
she just bled out and died. Yeah.
This goes to show Omni-Man still has some tricks on how to murder somebody.
Yeah.
And then of course Will came through the streets and
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was
like,
scary. I was like,
I was
no.
That was so scary. He like smashes on the car,
Yeah.
and I'm like, don't
Where's
kill
Mark?
him, don't grab him and murder
Where's
him,
Mark?
dude, please.
Yeah, bro.
You were supposed to drop Mark an hour ago, and the funny thing is that imagine if Will didn't find out like literally the same day that Omni-Man is Mark's dad.
Yeah.
Like, that would have sounded super weird. I mean, I guess, again, like, you know, duh, you know, you could just see his face. You know, you could definitely make the difference.
It was funny because
But-
he did say that.
Yeah.
He was like, wow,
Like, your dad looks a lot like Omni-Man.
how can I not put one and one together?
Yeah.
Yeah. But damn, I did not know the CIA had a freaking nuclear beam.
Oh, yeah.
in space.
But
Cecil was, like, super prepared. He was like, all right.
I enjoyed Seijo at the same time. At the same time, I'm like, no. I'm like, wait. Who's the bad guy here?
Yeah.
It's insane, man. And like that shot alone with like when they collided with Earth, that was beautiful to look at.
Oh, and the laser.
Yeah.
The anime. Oh.
Yeah, it was so good. And then obviously did not phase Omni-Man. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm confused. Like, who's the good guy? We have a scene.
400.
We have a scene where Omni-Man is literally talking to Mark.
Yeah,
supposedly.
like in the Arctic, like
Yeah.
when he was practicing to like talk with Mark, like it felt like super normal and chill.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah, man. It just you don't know who to root for, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
What is his secret? What is the secret? And then
that's what we all want to know. We want to know what was his reason. Everybody wants to know, and he
Yeah.
just
And
doesn't, he doesn't want to say anything.
and then we got Immortal back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
fun,
that's-
no, fun
Wow.
fact. All right. Like I remembered like a good amount of like the names and stuff of the previous Guardians of the Globe. I actually forgot Immortal's name. So I
thought-
genuinely
I
didn't.
just thought he just is Wolverine.
Yeah,
To me.
Yeah.
that's what I thought of too.
And I genuinely.
Oh, when he
didn't know-
raged.
Yeah, I genuinely didn't know that like.
Omni-Man!
I genuinely didn't know that like he could like come back to life, or that the fact that his name was Immortal. I thought like I thought like when his body like got up and stuff and he was just punching stuff. I thought that was just like a reflex or whatever that he had from his old home. But yeah, no. It turns out that that Immortal is Highlander.
Yeah.
He's a Highlander, and like he could still live despite the fact that like his head gets cut off, and the blue guys try to like revive him to take down Robot because of the previous scuff that they have. And wow, that was
Yeah, he went rampage mode.
rampage
Do
mode.
you blame him
for-
though?
And then he
blame
died again.
He died again, maybe.
Omni-Man makes sure he.
I don't think he died because I don't know. We'll see.
Put
see
him back
what
together and he'll be fine again.
Yeah, just
true.
Humpty Dumpty him again.
Yeah, but this time he went split in half.
Yeah.
So
Sliced him.
we'll see if that name still
And
applies
then,
something.
Yeah.
and then Mark is literally scared of
Yeah.
his mind.
Yeah,
at
the
that
whole
point.
The
world.
whole world is.
Oh, that too. But I mean,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
there. Come on, man.
Yeah, that the whole world knows Omni-Man just murdered Immortal. This time, for
Yeah,
sure.
there's like the news station that's like talking about it now and
Yeah.
everything.
But I feel like the sense they're like, wait, why is this guy here? Like, is this like a? They
Yeah,
even said on the
everybody-
news that
Immortal
it was
died like months ago.
yeah, is this like a duplicate or something
Yeah.
like that? That's what they said, if I remember.
Man,
So we don't know where the news is currently like
Yeah.
talking about, other than just witnessing what happened in the
was
scene.
insane episode, man. will
And
see.
we got one more episode
One more.
left.
Yes.
So no more needing to catch up on 2 per episode, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
But we'll see. I'm just excited.
Me too. We'll see what happens in the last episode.
It was upsetting too. It was exciting, upsetting, and I don't know where to go now.
Yeah, and with that, we move on to our next anime, High Rise Invasion, episode 10.
Yes.
And this one is mostly focused on Sniper Mask and kind of getting into touch with his old life, more so with his old life, and then the hibernation thing. Obviously, this was something that like had to be addressed because this happened with Nisei, previously. So it's like,
That makes sense.
all right, we gotta fix you up now.
Mm.
And I liked it. I think this episode, like again, this anime, it's giving us new stuff, each episode, but like not at like a crazy kind of rate as like say Invincible would be.
Yeah.
But overall, I feel like more happened in this episode than the previous few episodes did.
Yeah. No, yeah, most definitely. And now we get to say that Sniper Man's on the good side of the team.
Officially, yeah. He just can't take his mask off because
he's too handsome.
He's too handsome, yeah. He's gotta...
too handsome. I love that side plot. I love how this anime takes like really serious, like it's like a goofy take on the horror genre.
You weren't here for this, Josh, but I mentioned like when we were doing our first impressions video for episode 1 that I was on board. Like initially, I'll be honest, I wasn't on board with this anime because I was thinking like, it's gonna be another another crappy anime that's gonna be like super edgy and stuff. But honestly, like after getting 10 episodes in, like this anime, it's very self-aware with how ridiculous like this whole premise is.
It's really goofy and it knows it. It just is like a meme at this point.
Especially like when like towards the end of the episode when Yuri was like trying to save save this girl that she's using her super hearing for. She's like, okay, I'm gonna try to gather some people. Let me just go out into the field and like try to gather as many like survivors as possible. She goes in and like we have this horrific like this fake out where it's like, oh, she's okay, but she says she's too late while she's decapitated and stuff. And then like 30 seconds later, we see this really goofy like looking like dance formation or whatever that we see of the mask guys.
It's like
I don't know what's.
I love that scene. Honestly, I was just like, yes, I need more of this.
I guess Ravi's other favorite scene too is when the old guy gets his little
I
intro
forgot
music.
about that. Okay, so this is something that I've always brought up, but I always forget to bring up on the podcast. I'm really glad you brought this up. Is that okay? So there's the old guy, the guy that he's the guy that's trying to get revenge for his quote unquote family that got slaughtered by the scientist. And every time he talks and every time he has like some kind of weird dialogue that he always like has, like it's useful, like he's like saying, oh, my family's killed or whatever, like, oh, I'll get revenge on him someday. He himself, only him, has a specific theme that plays that is very like reminiscent of like classic like spaghetti western, like 70s era spaghetti western like movies and stuff that like has like a single like trumpet that plays and it's like really atmospheric and stuff, and it's only when he talks. I love that. I love every bit of that. I'm glad he's still alive.
And then another thing that Ravi said too that he enjoys a lot is the whole clothing aspect of
they're very consistent.
I like that too. They're very like everyone has the same clothes. But like I think I mentioned last podcast that
like Nisei
has the same rip in the middle of her clothing.
However, I do want to mention that like when they hack into Sniper Mask's brain, Nisei's clothes repair itself within the dream itself. I found that kind of cool, and the fact that like because the whole trade-off with Kuon is that she in the real world, other than the railgun that she can control, she can't do much in the real world. But when it comes to getting into people's heads and like trying to not commit suicide, she excels at it, extraordinarily speaking. Like she's really, really good at that.
She can take away commands that the mask originally orders people to do, like kill and like attempt suicide for other people, and that's cool. That's cool to see. We haven't seen that before, and I'm glad we saw it.
Honestly. And again, like we are reaching like that climax, I guess. Like this is episode 10, so we got like what two more episodes till this is done. So we're definitely getting somewhere. The rain is setting up an ominous tone for what's to come, and I'm excited to see. I want to see kind of like where this ends off on
the final battle. And with that, we move on to our last anime. And what an ending it was for Dragon Quest Dive.
A lot of emotions.
Episode 30.
A lot of emotions this
I think
podcast.
This week in general had a good handful of anime that's just been throwing at us like one emotional scene after another. And Dragon Quest is one of them. Because, oh my god. If one mustache dad of the main character going full psycho isn't enough for Invincible, we gotta have a second one for Dragon Quest. Oh my god, Baron.
Baron goes insane. Like he does not hold back. There's no mercy.
He
Like,
beats up on Hyunkel, pushes Leona away, and like basically just full fist crocodile all the way through his stomach.
oh my
And I'm
god!
just like, whoa.
Like God.
In
damn,
an
Baron.
instant, it's like so fast.
And
You're like,
almost
damn.
shoots Pop's arm off.
I
I'm like,
know.
oh my god.
All he was gonna do is just go get die, and he was like, nope, yo.
You stay where you're at, boy.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god. It was a lot of emotions going through.
I could say it was Pop's episode again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was.
Definitely.
The title of the episode literally went towards him.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
it was. You know why this is like this, right, David? It's because you kept saying, "Oh, Pop doesn't do anything." Oh man, Hyunkel's stealing the show. Well, this episode
was
answered
for
your
him,
question. It was for you entirely.
Yeah, man. Pop was ready.
They were giving us the flashbacks.
I think with the character itself is really like the voice actor is really good.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy his
They're all
voice.
dedicated. They're all dedicated to what this is. You know what this remake is about. And again,
I
it's just
felt it, man. That scene, he was giving his speech to
Yeah.
everyone else. I was like, oh man,
Yeah, me too, man.
please
Yeah,
no.
it was looking really bad.
The
and
onions again.
the
damn
the fortune teller, like she was seeing like Pop's future. You know, the
And it
fact
was
that
not looking
it
good.
was not looking good. Pop giving those flashbacks, giving his talisman. You know, not his talisman. There's banana to
And
Dai, who
Yeah.
is still brainwashed, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my goodness.
And
no.
he did the unthinkable,
Yeah.
the most powerful ability.
Megante.
Megante, that his
Advan.
master Avon did
Yeah.
as well. And even he said himself, like, I didn't hope to come down to this,
Yeah.
but I gotta save humanity.
Yeah,
for die.
he stuck to him for a while
Mhm.
too, man. He
Yeah.
couldn't get him off him and stuff. I was like,
Even
damn.
Baron was like, yeah, it would mess me up.
Yeah.
I let it happen.
And then it
But
happened.
Baron survived,
Baron survives.
but we don't know what happened with Pop. And it's crazy too, cause like Gomechi,
Oh my god, that got to me, man. I was like, no. I love that slime, man.
Yeah.
He was just doing what he can. I was like, beep, beep, you
He
know.
just smacks him like a fly and ends up flying
Oh,
towards
He's gonna
his
straight
pop.
up murder it.
yeah,
Yeah.
almost. But you know, Dai comes in clutch. He remembers everything.
Yes.
Baron goes for the brainwash again, but
Not this time.
No, this
not
time.
this
man.
time.
Not this time, baby.
Because guess what?
What?
The crest shows up on Dai's palm this time.
Oh, damn. And it's never been seen before.
Yeah,
In the
Dragon Knight lineage in history. Yeah.
So, Baron's gonna get whooped.
Yeah, we'll see kind of where this goes. Again, like we're all super excited to see kind of where this goes, and yeah,
Do you think everyone's gonna live through this?
I hope. But like Crocodile,
Yeah,
man,
he's like straight up with a big hole in his chest.
he's been having a big hole in his chest for like over half the episode. I don't know
Dude's
what's going
bleeding
on.
out.
Yeah.
Pop had his whole speech, so it's hinted that he might have survived.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't watch the show without Pop, man.
Yeah.
Mom and Pop, bro. Mom and Pop.
Now, mom's been out of commission, like out of the show for like 10 episodes, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart.
I know, right? It's been,
She's
Crazy.
training. She's training.
she's training.
Yeah, she's training.
But again, that concludes this week's worth of anime. So from here, we now move on to our news.
Yes.
Our one and only anime news, followed by our game news, is the Madoka Magica anime gets a continuation
Film.
via film. Yes,
Yes.
a film.
After 8 years.
After 8 years. That's insane.
Yep, it's. I feel like it's a long time coming. Especially, slight spoilers to Madoka Magica Rebellion. It's definitely warranted. It's definitely something that I feel like was bound to have happened. It was just a matter of when it would happen and if Genu Urobuchi was even interested in doing it. So, I didn't really look into this, but is it true that is Genu Urobuchi actually coming back for this film, or is it just like the team itself?
They're
that was
returning.
interested?
They're returning.
They're all returning. Okay.
Yeah. Everyone's
So-
returning.
All right, so yeah, so we got the creative team behind the original series and movie. So we'll see where it goes. I'm super excited. I feel like if anything, this is definitely gonna give me a reason to do a rewatch for this show.
Yeah, me too.
The show is actually, like, if any of you guys are interested, highly recommend it because it is super short, even with the movie included, because you're looking at like about 11 episodes plus a movie.
Yeah.
So
it's really complex, and it's one of my, like, it's, to me, when I first watched it, I'm like, this is like the perfect formula for a 12 episode anime. Like, they didn't skimp on everything felt like it paced well. Everyone's character was wrapped up.
Hold on. So is this the show in general, like what I remember? Well, I never saw the show, but is it like a death match between all magical girls?
No.
It's a lot more. It's not a death match. It's just basically Madoka and their friends are just normal high school girls, and they get contracted by like this weird alien thing to like go kill witches and stuff, and that's what the story is about.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I want to say that, like, this anime right here single-handedly started the dark fantasy, the dark magical girl genre.
Yeah.
Because prior to this, the only magical girl shows we got were just like the normal, like, cutesy, like, lighthearted animal girl, magical girl shows. Yeah. So this is the first one that actually truly started like the dark element for that. So
I kind of
this one is like, what if you had cute girls, but there was like a horrific twist? Yeah, that's what it is basically.
And I don't want to spoil anything for that because, again, I highly recommend it.
Go Omar.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say this anime itself, it kind of proves the whole 3-episode route, honestly.
Oh yeah.
How, like, you gotta give it the first 2, and that 3rd episode's insane. Yeah. So that I feel like this anime is that reason.
This anime definitely follows that to a T. Yeah.
The first 2 episodes fool you so hard, and the 3rd episode's just like,
you're like, oh, now
this is where it's going.
I'm in. Like,
this is where the anime fully kicks in, and you hear the actual true ending theme.
Everyone knows that Madoka's dark. It's been around for 10 years now. This is 10th anniversary basically. So everyone knows that it's not what it seems like, but still, watching it, I watched it 3 years ago, watching it live and seeing the tone shift was like, whoa.
We'll see kind of what happens with this. There's still not much news going on, so we'll see where this goes. But yeah, moving on, we're gonna be talking about our next bit of anime news. Sorry, I don't know why I thought this was our only one. So this is a little bit of a interesting bit that happened on the latest episode of, I guess, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Now, obviously, this anime is not in our list of anime to watch. I have not even finished the first season. I think I've only seen like the first couple episodes of the first season of this show of How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. But the main reason why we're covering this is it was an interesting bit of news that I guess that we had to cover.
Well, it was covered first like last week, but we were like whatever's about it. But now
apparently they're getting super, like, the company behind this is actually super heated about it, and it's mostly on the fact that Pekora, which is a hololive VTuber, made a unauthorized, unlicensed brief cameo into How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, and the company behind hololive
tried to hide it. Like, it was literally they could have picked like a more generic looking member, but no, they had the carrots in the hair and everything. I'm like, oh, come on.
Who knows if it was one of the artist's favorite character? And you know what? They're like, oh my.
I'm gonna throw it in there. Sneaker in there, you know? Why not?
I'm gonna throw it in there, but
companies are companies, and they're like, don't use it.
Pekora herself didn't seem to really care. She kind of made a joke about it on Twitter, but like, hololive's like, that's our property.
Yeah.
Change that character.
So companies being companies, they did not find that amusing at all. Rather, they were disgusted by this unauthorized usage of the character. So
and they're gonna...
future releases are not going to be having that Pekora lookalike appear in that scene. Like, literally just that scene.
Yeah, it's insane. Just for
pretty much.
So that was.
I think it was more funny. Just like
it was
dramatic.
Yeah, it was more funny than anything, but like just the reaction to this was just kind of like insane. So we just wanted to bring that up. But I guess now we can finally move on to our video game news, and this one is just more so for me than anything because I've been the one that's been actively playing this game, despite the fact that this is like my first one that I'm dipping my toes into, which is Monster Hunter Rise. 2.0 update that just that basically got shadow dropped about a week ago. And I wanted to bring this up also because of the fact that we also got more information on Monster Hunter Stories 2, which was, again, looking back, Stories 2 was the one that I was super interested in, and like Rise is the one that you were super looking forward to back then.
I know.
Now it's like the tables have turned in a sense.
Kind of, not really.
Not really, because I know you still don't care much about Stories 2.
I don't. I didn't even know they dropped new info on that.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot it was a game.
I don't blame you because Stories 2 is it's a very different type of spin-off. But the main thing is Rise 2.0, because up until Rise 2.0 there was the game was pretty like light on content in terms of like questing and all that stuff is concerned, but they added a bunch of more new content. The hunter rank level cap is fully unlocked, so you can go ahead and grind to your heart's content. They added a bunch of new monsters, a bunch of new and old monsters into the game as well. One that I played against, which was Chameleos, which is a lizard-looking dragon, elder dragon that can steal your items and stuff. Really fun to fight, by the way. It's,
very cool design, honestly. It was my first time looking into it because I only played Monster Hunter World. Yeah. And obviously, the other two Elder Dragons that did drop was from Monster Hunter World. So I was like, oh, I hate those guys.
Yeah. But like the fight itself was just a lot of fun. And then on top of that, we're also being promised more content. Oh, and then also layered armor. So you can actually be able to change the appearance of your character rather than just to like focus on stats and everything like that. So
I feel like it's like a Monster Hunter thing because I kind of was the same thing in World. Like there was an end game, but like it was kind of light after you did everything. So like when you buy Monster Hunter, like you're guaranteed content. Later on in the future, whether it be a year or two, like of just full content of new monsters, new events. I'm kind of waiting to see what kind of collaborations they do.
Oh yeah, no, and again, considering that this is like my first real Monster Hunter game that I'm actually putting time into, like I'm fully on board for this. Like this is something that like I can finally say that I'm like riding the train for.
I think I'm eventually gonna get this game, but
I highly recommend it.
Not for the Switch, but for PC. So it's gonna come out in early 2022.
I honestly don't blame you, but like honestly, the Switch experience is very interesting because like I was afraid that like that the game's performance was going to tank whenever like you bring it with you, but like I can confidently say that like the game still plays really well even when you're not docked, because I could take this game to work and fight a monster here and there during my break and stuff, and it feels so satisfying and stuff, and the game's performance and stuff still doesn't tank even when it's undocked, and it feels like a really legitimate like portable experience. You can definitely tell that this team is super experienced when it comes to playing a game like Monster Hunter on the go.
Yeah, because from their past history.
Yeah, Generations and 4, 3 Ultimate, all that.
They've been on the 3DS or like if we're going really back, PSP. Yeah. So,
but I just want to go on PC because I never played Monster Hunter on PC, so that'll be a different experience.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And then even besides this current update, there's also a promise for an end game to the story. Which is gonna
that's crazy they didn't have one.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that with the current situation of the world going on with the pandemic and everything, the game was rushed and in terms of what the whole game itself was going to be. So the end game sadly is not with the base game, but it will be coming. It will be coming by next month.
Yes, and this is a free update.
This is all free updates. There's also DLC, but that's to come later.
Yeah, and with that, we move on to our last gaming news of returning gaming news.
I called it.
You sure did, and Team Orochi's back up full force.
That's the thing I wanted to talk about as well. Team Orochi. We got a full name drop on the team itself because up until now, like I said, they were called the New Face team, which in hindsight doesn't make sense because this team has technically been around since 1997.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about KOF 97 because again, these games used to be titled after their actual released years. So we're talking 1997, the new face team. Now that whole thing is out of the picture, now we can be able to talk about what their whole motif is about, and that is Team Orochi.
Yes.
They're a snake cult team. They've always been.
The final character to this puzzle is Chris.
Chris, yes. All right, so a lot to unpack here. I want to focus on his gameplay, mainly because of the fact that like his weird combos. Oh my goodness, I did not think that they would focus on his supers the way they did here. I thought they were gonna change it up because his supers and his combos and stuff felt very like, how do I put it? Like, it doesn't feel like something that I felt like would translate well into a 3D game, especially with the whole like basically wave dashing in place and like just kind of like throwing slaps around. That feels very like sprite gamey, you know? Like that doesn't feel like something that you'd kind of put into like a full 3D model game. But no, they decided to keep all that.
It reminded me like Zero or like Rose example, like the double hit, like they have, like the shadow figure behind them. So like when they do first move, it does the same move over and over again.
Right? Yeah.
And like obviously the movement of Chris is the same as
it's exact same. Yeah, exactly. And like, and the fact that like they didn't like do any kind of changes, like that's commitment right there. They're like, you know, this game is 3D, but like there's barely any changes. I think they changed up a little bit of his moveset. I think he had like a weird like.
Did his appearance change? Oh, he looks.
Yes. No, actually, no. His appearance actually really didn't change. I don't think. I think it's the same. I feel.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I was trying to see like if it changed a bit or not, but like it kind of looks the same. Yeah.
But yeah,
Chris.
well, that's something that, like I said, like I've been wanting to talk about. I would talk about more on like Team Orochi, but like I feel like I've basically been dripping a lot of more information with Yashiro and Shermie. Now it's just a matter of kind of like when we get to see them and whatnot. But that's all we got. That's all we got for this week's Anime Squad podcast. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want to see more of our stuff.
Yes.
Share if we think are super cool. And like always, my name is Robbie.
And this is Omar.
And this is David.
And this is Josh.
And we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.